Dela Wright, my MVVs, welcome. My dear and my beloved Dela Wright, when the devil wants to walk, the devil will walk over time. But I do know that we have always been victorious. We will be victorious again. So you know that the great lion marked his 51st birthday anniversary. And this time the birthday is not that huge, like, okay, they just had to mark it among themselves. Now, after that drama that happened between, the Jewel and Pastor David Iwingi and all of that, it was settled because, Reverend Esther spoke about it and also urged the great lion to tread with care, that these are not good seasons, that the enemy is playing over time with people, especially in his own relationship with the Jewel. So we thought that was over. Everybody was happy. We all celebrated. Everybody celebrated, even the Jewel and family. Everybody celebrated, but that is far from over. What is going on? After that meeting, the Jewel came to the palace and met with the great lion. So after that meeting, the great lion was going to mark his 51st birthday quietly. And normally what he does is that, the night that is going to break the night of his birthday, they do something that is called crossover. He himself calls it crossover. This is his own word. He calls it crossover. So you know that, okay, let's say my birthday is tomorrow, okay? The night, as in 12 o'clock that breaks to that next day, is when he does his prayers and everything. So they call it a birthday crossover for the great lion, okay? And if you notice, okay, today's date is not 17th, if I'm not mistaken, and that's supposed to be his birthday, right? Am I right? Okay, whatever, but that is what we are hearing. And so, yes, they said the crossover. He had planned to spend this time with the Jewel, okay, the crossover, so they can pray together, so they can have their midnight prayer together, okay? Not that the great lion would not do what he needed to do. They agreed that, they would do everything together and they will now pray together. That is between the great lion and, the Jewel, right? And so now the Jewel prepared and waited for the great lion. They also had planned that they will go and spend time together after the breaking of the birthday. They will go and spend time together in their beach house. They own a beach house. Yes, after the breaking of the birthday, because the reason why they were supposed to be together is to do their prayers together. Now, after the prayers, the great lion was supposed to come back as at today, that is the 17th, like the breaking, the main birthday day, to come back to Ife, because visitors, people will be coming, well-wishers and all of that. Then after seeing them, as in, he will come over to Lagos and meet the Jewel in their private beach house. They say, of course, you and I know, I don't know if you're still aware, if you know about the beach house, they say love builds temple, but in Lagos, love built a mansion by the sea, the most heartbreaking beach house, okay? That, there's nobody who goes there that does not admire this beach house. They say it is the shore of Oniru private beach. This beach house is not just a house, it's an experience, a sanctuary, carved from marble, glass, and devotion. They said the great lion brought it quietly away from the noise of the world, saying it was a home for just the two of us, that is himself and the Jewel. And it's not something that is new. They say from the moment you drive through the massive gold-plated, gate, the architecture is mixed with, English and African. The air changes. The palm line driveway sweeps like a royal carpet. They said the place is very beautiful. That they had already, I don't want to go on and on to try and describe that place to you. They said they already had plans to go there. Okay, so the Jew prepared everything and stuff for cleansing. Like it went very far. You know that day that the Jewel came to the palace where they settled that thing when Reverend had put her mouth in that disagreement that they were having, that he now sent them to go and bring the Jewel. Now, when the Jewel was going back to the royal mansion, they said one of his servants, that is the great lion servant, had also gone with the Jewel. Now, they had to carry palm oil from the palace and other things that the great lion was supposed to use to wash his feet and perform birthday prayers and all of that, because they carry some of those things. And that was why one of the great lion servants had to go with the Jewel, so that he will know how to keep those things and all of that. Because even in the royal mansion, they said there is a place that is even made, as in kept sacred too, for the great lion, where he performs his stuff and he does his prayers. Okay, so when they got there, as into Lagos, the servant had to take those things to that place. So that was because of the arrangement they had, that night, that was yesterday's night, that midnight, that the great lion was supposed to be with the Jewel, and so they can do that cross over to his 51st year together. That is he and the Jewel. Now the Jewel prepared everything. They did everything. The Jewel kept waiting. The Jewel had waited for the great lion. The great lion was supposed to get there around 5. The great lion did not show up. The great lion did not show up. 6, the great lion did not show up. Jewel thought it was just a delay and all of that. The Jewel called the great lion's number. The great lion wasn't even picking. But it's not strange to the Jewel. Sometimes when he is in a meeting, an important meeting or something, he may not pick, but later he will return the call back. So it wasn't strange. It was when it was getting to 8. Because the great lion, except when he's very, very upset, he doesn't like moving about at night. Around 8, the great lion had not come. And then the Jewel now called the chauffeur, the one that drives him to the airport or other places, and asked where they were. And the chauffeur said that they were still in Ife. And the Jewel was shocked. What happened? Why are you guys still in Ife? What is going on? Are you still living today or not? And the chauffeur said he does not know, that Kabiyesi has not said anything about them going anywhere. That was when the Jewel knew something was wrong. And the Jewel now started trying to get to Kabiyesi. Kabiyesi was not picking. Kabiyesi didn't take that call. Meanwhile, at this time, the Jewel had prepared everything. I said, when the devil wants to play overtime, hey, God. But one thing that I know is that the word of God says, those that trust in the Lord shall renew their strength. It doesn't look like this is easy, but it is what it is, right? The Jewel waited and waited and waited and waited. The great lion did not show up. The great lion did not show up. At this time, there have been birthday cakes, everything that she has prepared. You know now, when she is preparing for the great lion's birthday, you know how she does her things. It's not like this thing that you're saying. They said that she has prepared food, she has prepared birthday, she has prepared everything for that night, prayers, all for that night, for that their crossover that they were supposed to do quietly between herself and her husband. Everything was there. The great lion did not show up and the great lion did not pick. And she was so surprised, because this happens to, it's not the great lion. It's very, very unlike the great lion. I was wondering what was going on. They said she started crying and crying. That was how the great lion did not show up. Then, all right, I'm going to bring you guys more update. You will see what is going on.